The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shaky McStabber.
And I'm R'lyn Dare, also known as Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and I'll be playing Jacqueline Daron of Clan Ventrue.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am the Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Miriam, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
I'm Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikato.
I'm Gavin, and I play Lamar Cade of Clan La Sombra.
And last week, we had a hell of an episode. We had Lamar and Isabella going and finally meeting with Braden, which I'm surprised nobody died in that scene, and I don't mean Isabella and Lamar. We had Jackie, she met with an Archon, got some interesting info. Somebody at this table named Genevieve got a life boon out of Bobby. Roscoe and Nicholas took a trip to the place they were, well, one of the no-no places, Resurrection Cemetery, where they had a discussion with something very old and powerful. And the kindred who operate during the night frequently spend the daytime sleeping. And in this particular case, the sun is shining outside as we see Nicholas in his haven, sleeping the day away. Nicholas, I need you to make a roll of your humanity. We shall
How
see
do
how
I
this goes.
do that?
You should just right-click on the black die under the chat and select the number of dice that your humanity is.
As you right-click, you can select 5 by right-clicking on the die and then right-click one more time, and you'll have 6 dice. Mm-hmm. 3 successes. Well, that actually is enough to face what is a life-threatening situation. You're pulled from your day slumber by a voice screaming in your ear. It is a voice you recognize, though you hear it so infrequently. Izzy is screaming at you. Wake up! Wake the fuck up! You're in danger! Get up! I can't save you! Get up!
He immediately like looks around and where have you been?
You're sluggish still for the daytime. It always pulls at you. And your first response is to ask her that. And she looks at you. You can see her, which you don't always see either. We ain't got time for that. There's somebody. They just broke in the front. They're coming this way. And they've got a stake in their hand. I know they're coming for you.
And then Nicholas at that point will like touch his pockets looking for the sat phone as he's moving on his way out.
As you get up from your resting place, the door to the room explodes inward. And there's a man standing there, nondescript in every way. No beard. He's got short blonde hair. He's wearing, of all things, leather coat, brown leather coat, blue jeans. And he's got a stake in his hand, and he seems surprised that you're up moving. Ain't this a peach? Well, guess it's going to be the hard way. You ready to die?
Who are you?
I'm the man sent to kill you.
That's a pity.
And he starts approaching you.
I am going to close the distance, aiming to touch skin, and I want to do necrotic plague on him.
Okay. Now, necrotic plague, this one is where you basically are going to inflict him with a disease. Going to poison his blood and ravage his body. So to do it, you're going to roll intelligence plus oblivion, and he's going to get stamina versus plus medicine or stamina and fortitude. Now, unfortunately, he doesn't have fortitude. So all he gets, stamina and medicine.
And then, so I need to rouse first.
Mm-hmm. And in this panic state, you don't get hungrier as you rouse this.
And then I'm going to do my +1 for blood potency. Oblivion. And then it's intelligence. And I am going to...
You have 5 successes. And you can feel as your power does it. Now, unfortunately, he's going to get to stab you with the stake as you stepped into him. And you have a defense of 1. So as you lay your hands on him, and the sickness pours into his body, corrupted by the oblivion that flows in you, he manages to stab you in the chest with the stake, but he does not hit the heart. It's 3 damage, but then it's halved. Because you have toughness, you can attempt to activate it.
I will do so.
You can attempt to activate it in response. Make a willpower check first. You can just hit the willpower, or I believe there's a button for that. Easiest way is to hit.
Frenzy.
No, you don't want to do it that way.
Oh.
Just roll 6 dice again. Actually, you only hit. Yeah. You use the willpower. Roll 5 dice.
Yeah.
1 success. That's enough. You got a success. You managed to activate it. Now you can do your rouse as you kick toughness in response to this attack. Which, because you have fortitude level 3, you only take 1 superficial damage from this stake being rammed into you. The guy coughs suddenly, bit of blood coming from him because of what you've done. And he pulls the stake out of your chest and prepares to drive it again. Now you can hear Matthew moving around at this point from an exploding door. What are you doing this round?
I am going to I want to give him a bleeding disease.
Okay.
And then as I'm doing that, I'm going to scream to Matthew, danger.
You're going to hit him with the Oblivion Necrotic Plague again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How many diseases can you pile on him? I guess we're going to find out.
So then...
Now, this time I will let you roll. You can do strength or dex brawl as you defend yourself as he's trying to plunge a stake in you again.
So you said strength or dex and brawl?
Yep.
So I will do strength because that's the better of them for me, and I don't have any brawl.
Okay. And now you can roll your power.
So that's another rouse check, correct?
Yep. And you're still holding up on that, aren't you? You don't get hungrier again as you reach and use your power of the blood.
And it's the same thing again. So
I've already rolled his defense.
I'm aroused, so I need to +1 Oblivion, and then intelligence. And I'm gonna willpower
You're
that.
going to willpower? Go ahead. You have 3 so far. And once again, he managed to stab you with the stake. He had 4 successes to your 2, which means it'd be 3 damage total. But toughness, you take 1 more superficial wound as he stabs you with this. He's got a long way to go if he plans to actually hit the heart. But in so doing, as he stabs you, you grab his hand and once again call it pushing the tainted power of oblivion into him. This time you cause his, well, let's be fair, his blood to cease to clot. Which is going to be an even bigger problem as he just coughed up blood. He's going to be drowning in it very quickly. And the guy's eyes widen again. He seems suddenly out of breath as Nicholas comes in the room holding a 45 in his hand.
Do you mean Matthew?
Or sorry, Matthew comes in. No, Nicholas, you've walked in. Second you. Yes, Matthew.
I don't know if there's some like fucking shape changer or some shit coming here.
Matthew comes in with a 45 in his hand. I got to roll one other thing. As he's standing there holding this stake. Suddenly, you see his hand fly to the side as the stake flies out of his hand. And just for the briefest moment, you saw Izzy between the two of you. And she punched him in the hand, which somehow caused his hand to actually feel the blow. And now we're going to have Matthew open fire. This guy's not even seeing it coming. 45 is allowed in this closed quarters. Bullets strike the back of this individual. And he's already been double infected with some serious fucking plague. And the blood that comes out, blood comes out and pus. And the guy just collapses. Now I'm going to give you a brief amount of time before you're going to have to go back to sleep or make another willpower roll, because keeping going in the daylight is very difficult.
Completely ignoring the body for now, he'll immediately look to Matthew and say, "Call Etienne."
Sure thing.
And then he'll basically go back to sleep, because I imagine with all of like the mental energy he's put into it, he probably doesn't have the mental fortitude to keep doing this right now.
And you fade to sleep. And when you wake, Matthew said Etienne was there. He went over the body. Jackie, you're aware everything Etienne did, he would have immediately told you upon waking.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew told Etienne that you could handle making sure the body disappeared. I mean, hell, you're in a morgue of all things, or a funeral parlor. But he looked over, no identification. Fingerprints were actually burned off with acid. All he had was a stake. That's it on him. Etienne's definitely explains to Matthew this was a hit for sure. And whoever did it knows better than to leave tracks that can be followed. But as it's a stake, he was working for a kindred. Etienne also took pictures of the guy's face so that he could pass it to Jackie in hopes that possibly they could pull it up in the police database somehow.
Yeah, and then Nicholas will make sure that he'll get copies of that. I imagine by now he's aware that Roscoe can follow people with pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he'll make sure to get one and make sure as soon as he can, he'll go talk to Roscoe.
Etienne and Matthew put the body in a body bag so it's not bleeding all over your floor. Matthew even cleaned up the blood. But you still have a body, but you have a way to deal with that.
Yeah, it's the lore sheet. I'm just trying to get the details up. I think I always forget which one it is. That's the other one. So with Harbingers 2, the gold mask. Yeah, basically he'll be he'll use sort of like his expertise and with context.
So since you have a funeral parlor you're building, I assume you actually have a crematorium built with it?
Yeah.
I guess a body goes in the crematorium this evening. Leaving not enough for them to identify when it's done.
and it, obviously with his history of dealing with bodies, he is, and Matthew being familiar with it as well, considering their time in school together, he would sort of like trust him, between, you know, his own stuff while he was sleeping, or Matthew doing it while he was sleeping, and Nicholas once he's awake, making sure that the body is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then he and Matthew will probably at this point head maybe for Roscoe first, just because he's probably understands there's a time situation.
Okay. And you're heading over there. Now we're going to flash over as you're heading over there because Roscoe actually has something going on that may not be able to catch him at his shop at first. He may be there a bit later, though. Yes, Nicholas.
Is he still there, or is she gone again?
She's still there.
Thank you.
Can't have my brother come over here yet.
It's definitely earlier than either of us intended.
Yeah. I went and checked on some things. I got to finish processing what I learned, and I may have something that might be able to help you some. I went to speak to a Memni. Think of it as a memory doctor.
Did you get your answers?
Yes.
Are you here to stay, or are you leaving again?
Oh, I'm here to stay. I just had to go. Use of that is not allowed by our kind. But if you know where to ask the right questions, you can find the answers anyway. Similar to your society, the rules are there for those who can't afford to break them. There's always some who can. Once I figure out what I was told, I will talk to you about it. But your friend Zal, she's definitely been changed.
And I suspect I have an idea who might have sent that fool.
I'm just glad I got here in time.
Just glad you're back in general.
It's good to be back. It's not fun going to that city.
It hasn't been fun on this side. I have some catching up to do with you.
And she goes silent, but the necklace goes cold as she settles in.
Yeah, and he's like immediately like it feels right again.
Now we flash over to Jackie as where are the girls meeting up?
Probably at Isabella's place.
That works for me.
Okay.
So as Jenny and Isabella, all right, Isabella's brew pub. Jackie's coming in on the phone.
Now, she did actually go ahead and send the photo to the police officer, too.
Okay. He's looking into it.
Okay.
May take him a few days because facial recognition isn't that quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've looked into the protesters. Most of them aren't that big a deal. But the guy leading it, Tommy,
Tommy what?
Tommy Henderson. He works at the local art galleries, but he's known for having a bit of a drug problem.
Really?
Yeah, and when he gets all drugged up, he'll do anything for his next fix.
Really?
Yeah, we found little bit of heroin in his body when we arrested him. So we're getting him on charges for that because we also found a little bit of his heroin in his sock.
And which galleries does he work for?
Lee Enfield's one of them. One of them, De Leon.
I'm familiar with it.
Oh, okay, good. I haven't been to that one yet. That's another one.
It's trash.
Yeah. He seems to work at a number of them like that.
Well, thank you so much, Sergeant. I appreciate it.
Lieutenant, you forgot.
Okay, I'm sorry, Lieutenant.
It's okay. I'm running this picture you got me. Haven't found anything yet. Fingerprints would have been nice, but picture's a picture.
Yes.
I won't ask why he looks so pale in the picture. I know better.
Don't ask.
That's how this works. I'll get back to you as soon as we can get some sort of an ID on him.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yep, no problem. You have a good one, Jackie.
Bye-bye. Ladies, I'm sorry for being on the phone.
You're a busy woman. It's understandable.
Found out that the protesters at my event were sent by a Luke.
Ah. Interesting. I sense you potentially have a plan about this.
Oh, yes. I've been a collector of fine art for a very long time. I know quite a few in this city that are inclined to be in those circles and do critiques and even write articles about gallery showings. I will invest a lot of money into them and ensure that they slander the shit out of his stuff.
We could also use good old-fashioned toreador persuasion in addition to money.
We
Do you have any
could.
interest in that?
We could. I will give you a list of some names. Let me know if you are successful, and if you are not, then I will sweeten the pot with money.
Sounds good. Might as well. We have money, but let me have some fun with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm getting a bit bored without playthings.
Yes. So, someone went after Nicholas today. Yes.
Why? I mean, he's awkward, but harmless.
I don't know, but it was someone that came during the day with a stake, expecting him to be sleeping.
Oh.
To his
fuck?
haven.
Yeah, no, that.
I've sent the photo of he is safe. But I sent the photo to my police contact to find facial recognition, though when the fingerprints were burned off with acid. So. I'm
Well,
sure,
they were thorough at least.
yes. I'm sure Nicholas is probably trying to find Roscoe at this point to try to track where that guy came from.
That's
I'm
smart.
sure. Hopefully he finds something. We don't want this to happen again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll find out anything I can on the person. So.
That's. I don't know. Maybe it's time for a move. I don't know. I
Jenny, you are
it's-
so quick to want to leave.
No. I mean, move from one shithole to another shithole, so that if someone wants to pop into my previous shithole, yeah.
Yes.
But
So anyway, there were some things that you both wished to speak to me about.
Oh.
Do you want to go first, Jenny?
You know what? No, it doesn't matter. You can go first. It's fine. So.
I spoke with Honor.
Yes, she was staying with you.
Yes. She's around somewhere. She's exploring the city.
Yes.
Seems she has quite the set of ears on her, and she's heard some interesting things about Keisha.
Really?
Apparently, she's overheard Mal Davis and Evelyn fighting about some anarchs and Gary.
Hmm.
Also heard her fighting with Marcel about apparently she's supporting some anarchs in the area. Trying to kind of help sow some chaos in Decker's area.
Hmm. Yes, I was fairly aware of that from the conversation that she told me about her connections in Milwaukee. It made me realize she has her fingers on too many people there.
Yes. But part of this argument with Marcel was how she's been neglecting her churchly duties.
Ah, she's too involved in
this
politics and not trying to do their cult's leadership.
She does have one job she's taking very seriously for her cult. She's trying to recruit honor. We already guessed this, but
It was as I said. I have a talent. It's something I actually had when I was alive, and it only became further refined after my embrace, that I can pay attention when people are speaking or how they hold themselves, how they look around or engage with others, and I can read what it is they truly want. And when I did that with her, I definitely knew she was obsessed with honor. Like, that is her only goal right now.
we definitely need to do something about that. I don't really appreciate her taking advantage of
Young
someone
and
who's already
vulnerable?
been through- Yes.
Yeah, that's like the Setite fucking playbook. Not a problem. I'm supposed to have a discussion with Keisha at some point. I'm sure I'll make sure it's arranged outside of the city. I'll get her information and then I'll destroy her.
Let us know if I fully believe that you could handle this yourself. But let us know if you need any backup. Like I said,
I
I'm getting
might.
bored.
I might. It definitely might. It might be a group project.
Already put a pin in one snake so far. Why not a second?
Why not a second? And she's an anarch, so guess what? As long as we don't do it in the city proper, oh well, shit happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really do like the rules about the boundaries. They're so
Yes.
wonderful.
Well,
She's like, oh
she's
no.
granted passage in the domains because she's a delegate. So, yes, and I'm sorry, neither of you ladies were here for the last delegate that was here, but she was a problem as well, and I made sure she was destroyed. So, yes, Keisha will provide the information I need on Luke, and then I will destroy her. Because she is too dangerous.
Girls' night with a twist. I like it.
Absolutely. There are few things I enjoy more in this world than cutting off snakes' heads.
It's important to do so. So, yeah. It's a totally different Vegas problem. In Vegas, when they try to move in, they always start out in the deserts. So around Vegas, so you just kind of go out, you find the little hidey holes, and you burn them out. So, everybody comes together. We sing Kumbaya. It's an event. But similar outside of the city problems in a sense, because I love that. I love that. It's so wonderful that we can be flexible with those rules like that.
The rules only apply for those that can't break them.
Well, I mean, as long as you don't get caught.
Exactly. So. That's the trick.
I'm obviously still alive after our previous conversation. So the Archon did not come for me yet, but I don't think that's going to happen because Mr. Weatherbottom, I literally sat there and he just kind of started talking and I just had to nod. And every once in a while look at him and every once in a while make a vague pseudo threat. And he just kept on talking until finally he dug himself a hole about 80 feet down. And I said, congratulations, that's going to cost you a life boon.
What on earth did he tell you?
He is deathly afraid that I'm going to kill Mrs. Weatherbottom.
Really?
And so apparently that had enough value to mean that I can tell him to go jump off a fucking bridge at high noon.
Why is he so afraid of that?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. He feeds on her. She's not like us. She's not enhanced like Etienne or Evan. She's vanilla human, and he keeps her in a fucking coma or medically induced sleep or some shit. I don't know. He was rambling about a lot of stuff.
Really?
So that he can go and he can feed on her, because if she were to wake up and find out, how would she think about him?
So she doesn't know he's a vampire?
I think she does, based on the previous interactions he's done.
But she may not. If it was Elysia events and there were humans there.
True.
She may not, because we maintain the Masquerade.
I just, all I know is he's deathly afraid of her finding out. And so he is, but at the same time, he's also afraid someone's going to do something to her. Though, unfortunately,
yes, if he's only feeding from her, that would be very bad for him.
Yeah. See, I kind of pointed that out to him because I don't know everything about the Ventru, but I've heard a little bit of this and that, and I just know that. And I told him, I said, "Don't you think this is going to cause problems down the road?" He said, "I'll get." He said, "I will burn that bridge when I'm standing on it." And I was just like, I if he wants to die so bad, I would be more than happy to oblige him.
I guarantee what would happen if his wife were destroyed. He would end up walking into the sun.
Well,
why destroy her though?
If
he's so afraid of her finding out, I think that's a better alternative for his punishment.
The long con with Mr. Weatherbottom is continuing. It's great. It's fun.
No, that's
fine. Eventually something's going to happen with the missus.
Oh yes. I spoke with the Archon. That he reports to. Don Nikada.
I knew it was an N word. The last name, I was wrong. I apologize, but.
Yes, she is an Archon to Justica Juliet Parr of Clan Malkavian. She has Bobby in a coterie with Duncan McTavish and Joseph Kerr in the Anarchs to get information on Duncan McTavish to have him assassinated. And she's using his wife as leverage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm using his wife as leverage too.
Yes, he is very screwed. Because he has no protection. She literally said if something happens to him, oh well.
Maybe we could use Bobby to take care of some other problems that we have.
Well, I mean, he's not very adept at anything.
He doesn't
If
need
I'm
to be
being-
adept for him to take the fall for something.
Oh my God,
True.
Isabella, you are ruthless.
I just meant that, like, if you wanted him to actually accomplish something other than being a massive fucking failure, good luck.
Yeah.
So
Well, we can consider it. That is not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. We can consider it. Okay, so now basically Bobby is your pet. That's funny. I didn't expect anything less. Truly.
look,
Jenny, you are a force to be reckoned with. Really.
he learned a valuable lesson.
Don't fuck around with you.
Don't give beautiful women the stink eye at Blue Velvet. Reserve that for Bronwyn in the shitty service.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Blue Velvet. I see, it's this word thing. I just wanted to let you know, Jackie, when I spoke to Amelia at your event.
Okay.
That's where it was. She mentioned that because we were talking about Blue Velvet, of course, because it's always a laugh. She had mentioned that she was unable to get into these wine tastings, and she specifically said she had asked Bronwyn if she could get an invite so she could write a piece on it to help like elevate Blue Velvet's stature or something, and Bronwyn gave her the no, go away thing. And so so I know you had talked about trying to get into him.
Yes.
I don't know. I
imagine
wanted
it
to
will
pass
be
that on.
something because Nicholas had mentioned at some point he might wish to go there. When I speak with Nicholas finally, I will discuss that with him. Perhaps he has, for his reason, maybe something that gets me a little bit of favor with Bronwyn for bringing him there. And I may be invited. So.
I wonder. See. I know this the whole status game is kind of a new thing. That having Kindred be like, "Ooh, they know who I am." It's a whole new thing to me because in Vegas,
Right, it's keep your
no
head
one
down.
gives a shit unless you're making money, and everyone kind of stays out of each other's way, which is really nice. So now I'm wondering, do I start secretly putting it out there that Bobby owes me his life? Maybe
No.
maybe no.
No, not yet.
Aw,
Not
I was
yet.
really hoping I'd get an invite to Blue Velvet.
Bobby has no fucking status.
Oh, well,
He is entitled with anything. He is legit IT support.
but he's close to the prince.
He is, but he has no status. Bobby is the help.
Look, a girl can dream because then I can go there whenever I want and be like,
why would you want to?
This is horrible.
I know. You just want to piss in Bronwyn's Wheaties. I know. But no.
I have to entertain myself somehow. So.
Isabella, I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I received word from my people about Josiah.
Yes?
She was dealing with, in Florence, that is where the necromancer clans joined together for their family reunion. And she was dealing with that. The last that anyone heard. And she is presumed destroyed.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I can't say I'm surprised. She always did like to meddle in things that weren't her business.
I find it sad. She was very lovely.
If you all don't mind, I'd probably like to spend some time alone for a bit.
I understand. And Jackie stands up and actually takes her hand. Call me if you need anything, darling.
Of course.
Yeah. If you want to go punch someone's skull in or something, work some steam off, just hit me up. Or
I'll keep
do whatever.
that in mind.
Like I'm more than just violence. So, but
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for telling me, Jackie.
Of course. Of course. I hate that it wasn't better news.
You can't help that.
No. Take care, darling.
Well.
And Jackie exits.
Jenny, you
save
leave as well?
Isabella. Yep, and then Genevieve will head out too.
And as Isabella's remembering the good time she had with her sire to process the information. Nicholas, did you call Roscoe before you came over there? Just curious.
Probably not.
Okay, so we'll come back to you in a minute. Lamar, you wanted to get in contact with Nick. Where did you want to meet him at? Or him to meet you?
I figure we could meet at we could meet outside the 8th Street bar where I like to go.
Okay. And you left that on the answering service and gave a time?
Yes.
As the time approaches and you're outside the bar, do you bring anything in particular, or is it you just going as your normal, which means packing heat because that's normal?
I pack heat, and I also have something else depending on how the conversation goes.
And as you are waiting there, hey, how you doing, Lamar?
Hey, how's it going?
And
Glad
he
you
steps
came.
out from behind you. Well, you said you might have a job for me, so of course I came. Plus, why not? If we can't work a deal, maybe we can go out hunting. Either way, it's a good night.
You know what? I like both of those ideas, but business first.
Oh, business is always first.
You asked if I knew someone who could use some reliable help.
Yep. Look, I'm out of work right now, and I got to keep busy. Otherwise, I get into things I'm not supposed to.
Well, as it happens, I do know someone.
Ah, what you got? Who's looking for a guy?
Me.
Oh, now this is interesting.
Your last employer was more than content to put you and your people in harm's way, use you and abuse you. I'd like to take a chance and build something a little different.
I'm glad to see that there's no hard feelings. The previous employer I had.
No, besides, it was his no necks that are going to be the ones I deal with eventually. So,
Depending on how this job shakes out, maybe we can arrange a meeting that way. I might know where they hang out.
oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Here's the thing. I need someone. Look, you and your people are very familiar with the Undercity.
That's where my brood hangs out.
Yeah. As it turns out, there may be someone down there, and I'm not talking about the last guy you were looking for, but there is someone down there that I need to find because he is a danger to some people that I have connections with.
Okay. So, it's call it a looky-loo job. You need me to look for Lou.
Exactly.
Okay.
You find Lou, you come back and let me know where he is, and I'll take it from there. Now, if you or anyone in your brood has, you want to get your hands dirty and maybe do some shit kicking, we can figure that out at that time. But really, I need to know where this person is to start with.
You got a description or a general anything? What you need?
Unfortunately, this person seems like they're going to be trying to blend in, rather clean cut, but someone who shouldn't be down there. Thing is, they may be more of Eastern persuasion.
Okay.
Someone who shouldn't be in this city.
You got a clan?
Yeah, Banu.
Banu?
Yep.
We'll make a roll real quick. You say Eastern. We talking actual Banu, or are we talking Assamites?
The latter.
Okay, I can look into that. Kind of right. Let's just say it's not ones I'm going to directly tangle with. That doesn't go well. Though I have been known to snatch one or two when they're alone.
Good to know. But yeah, you find them. Let me know where I can get them, and I'll arrange the pickup.
Are they supposed to be in the city?
This one, no.
Okay, that narrows down, definitely. It gives me some ideas of where to look.
Now, I don't know that he doesn't have backup with him, but as I understand it, could be just a single one.
Backup's not the problem. Me and my brood are pretty good at that not being seen thing.
Okay.
I'll ask around at first and just find out. You haven't been down there before, I'm sure, but
No.
let's say there's a community down there that knows who belongs and who doesn't. You keep a real close eye on the ones who don't. And if you know the right ones to ask, you could generally find out who don't belong down there pretty quickly.
Okay, it's good to know. Now,
The price.
in terms of your price.
I got a particular price. This is going to be not my normal way of doing business. After I do this for you, you're going to help me find that fucking shitheel Capone, so I can teach him a lesson that you don't try to throw away my brood.
Say less. I've got my own message I need to deliver to him, so
Let's just say I need to make an example. When you sell your services, you got to make sure people understand the contract is the deal, and you don't try to waste the mercs for no reasons.
I like it. He fucked around. He now has to find out.
Yeah. And I know he's been like a cockroach before. I've been having trouble finding him. But I ain't found a cockroach yet that I can't step on.
And step on him, they could net you some good gains.
I'm just more worried about the reputation.
Feel that? He doesn't know where you and your brood hang out, does he? You don't think he'd try anything before then, do you?
He only knows the Undercity. Good luck finding us down there when we don't want to be found. Remember that community I talk about? They know not to run their mouth about certain groups down there. Normally the ones that run the protection.
All right. Well, yeah, you help me find this guy. I help you find your guy.
Now that's a deal I like. And he actually sticks his hand out and spits on it. Now, being a kindred, it's blood. But shake on it. Seal the deal.
And Lamar will shake on it.
Okay. I'm going to get started on that. We're going to go hunting when I find you some info.
Sounds good. You hit me up and I'll come running.
Will do. It's going to be a pleasure working with you, Mr. Cade.
It'll be a pleasure working with you, Nick. See you soon.
And he turns, steps into the alleyway, and disappears. Now, Roscoe, you're not at your store. So, Nicholas, you arrive at Roscoe's store with no Roscoe. Because at the moment, Roscoe, you're actually in a park. Not far from Chinatown. Meeting with Tracy. And when you come in, she actually comes over and she gives you a hug. How you doing, Roscoe?
Pretty good, Trace. Good to see you.
Good to see
Have
you.
you-
Tessa says hello.
Okay.
She's doing
Say
well.
hi back when you see her. Good. Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Yep.
You have a minute to talk?
Well, of course I do. That's why I'm here. You said you wanted to speak with me, and I was
Okay.
doing my. This is the night I watched Chinatown, so I've got some time to talk.
Okay, well let's walk and talk where nobody is listening.
Okay. And she moves away to where you're really in a isolated area. What seems to got you spooked? You look kind of nervous.
Well, you know my sire, right?
Yeah, like I said, I've met her. Been a long time, but I met her once before. She's formidable.
Yeah, and she's on her way here. Don't have an exact date, but she's coming.
You mentioned that before. It'd be good to see her. I'd like to catch up.
Well, I'm having some trouble with some decisions that she's making.
I mean, what kind of decisions is she making?
Well, you know how Abraham has essentially judged on past sentence on Sun Chi.
Yeah.
Well, Helena is of the same opinion. I mean, she acknowledges that the charges are false, but her execution will serve the needs of the pyramid.
She's always been loyal to that shit. See, that's the kind of things that's why I'm not with the pyramid. That's why my loyalties lie other directions. Because they don't understand real loyalty. Their form of loyalty is blindly serve or else. And that's not loyalty. That's servitude. It's not right. Did she say why they've made that decision or why she agrees with it?
No. She just says that it serves the needs of the pyramid.
That's the kind of bullshit. They keep saying that, and the pyramid's fucking gone. They got blown up. I know Struck seems to think he's fucking running shit, but he's not. The pyramid is they lost everything. Shit.
No, I'm not a fan at all of this, and I would prefer not to have to follow through on delivering Sun Chi.
And that fucking bastard Victor's running around looking for her too.
Yeah, he is.
Shit.
Now, she did say she wanted to run into me, that she still wanted to talk. Although, there's that diversion at the restaurant.
Yeah, I just worry. I don't know how close Victor's watching you, Victor's watching me. I don't know. I've been trying to avoid being around her because I'm worried he's watching me.
Well, we could always try to figure out where he is or has been.
It's harder than that with him. He is slippery.
Any kind of a combination of magics that could overcome whatever defense he has.
I don't know. I've never tried. Karna tried to track him once. He was sent to Milwaukee originally before the pyramid fell to take her in hand. She was in charge of the chantry, but that was on paper. The reality was he ran everything. Yeah, she didn't exactly, how did she put it? Don't like being under the thumb of a misogynistic prick. And she tried to track him. Turns out she can't.
Oh, really? How do you manage that?
Don't know. Never seems to work. Oh, it'll lead you places.
Even well, even tricks that Samantha's
Well, see,
would
that's
be
a
able to
different
do.
discussion.
Hmm.
You'd have to talk to her on that one. I know they have a way. I'm sure they do. But most of the way they track, the easy way is to track an item, something on them, something that they've touched, something that they have, they know. It's,
How about the card that he gave me?
see? You're thinking. That might work. I mean, you can try asking Samantha, or if you're kind of worried about that, I might.
Well, she's a mite unpredictable. Mood swings of a sort.
Yeah, I've heard that about her. And be careful with her.
I'm trying to be.
If she's taking a liking to you, I'm going to be fair to you, Roscoe. It never ends well.
It never does for us.
Her last boyfriend was found burned in his car. Well, his whole car with him in it was burned up.
Okay.
Fuel line leaked. That's what
Imagine
the
that.
report said.
Right. Very improbable.
Yeah. She definitely is a bit impulsive. You understand this one. They said it's riding around in a convertible with a tiger.
I get it. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
something similar. A bobcat. Sure, I
Yeah.
get that.
So be careful. But she might be able to do it. I've got some friends that might be able to do it. The question is, would he know we're doing it? And whether
Likely,
we
yes.
well, what his defenses are. Because if he knows we're coming, it's going to be bad. He survived a lot of shit, apparently. But you're right. If the pyramid, and she rolls her eyes as she says that, has decided, he's not going to hesitate.
Yeah, I got that feeling from him.
Abraham won't hesitate.
No.
Thankfully, there's not that many kindred in the chantry at the moment where they're rather light with Sun Chi not there. And let's be fair, I generally don't associate with them. I don't help him out at all. So at least he's lacking in muscle, other than Victor and himself.
Oh, his tenant in the chantry is considerable muscle all by herself.
Yeah, but I doubt a Toreador is going to get involved in this shit. Not even that Toreador. Unless she finds it amusing, maybe. I guess she would enjoy the show. Man, this is a problem. We're going to have to try to get her message to her, though. I've tried to tell her to get out of town, but she still thinks she can wait this out.
No, I don't think she can. There's too many people going after her here. I may have a way of getting her out, though.
That's good. Why do they want? What good can it do the pyramid to kill her? I don't understand.
I don't either.
We're missing something in all this. Have to. It doesn't change. We need to get her out of town. Wonder if we could get her. Well, no, that wouldn't work either. I was going to say, why don't we get her to try to hide out in the null zone? That should at least slow Victor down a while. But Then the werewolves will sniff her out, and
Right.
there's another problem.
No easy solution.
No, it's not. And the hard part is convincing her to go. She doesn't want to leave. It's we don't really condone it, but maybe we should just tie her up and drop her off out of town somewhere.
Well, you know, the problem is she's got that rider that goes along with her and that pops out at the most inopportune times.
Yeah, that's what supposedly started this. But if it's for the good of the chantry and for the pyramid itself, that makes me think that whole situation was deliberately a setup. Yeah, the rider problem. It's a funny thing. I've never seen her do it around me. She doesn't. Because I'm waiting for it. I've got certain objects on my body that would help me to identify what's going on.
I would sure love to know that myself.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to a friend. Maybe I can get another. And she points to a ring on her finger that's got an emerald on it. Another one of these.
No, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's a thing. But let's just say it can detect if someone else is looking out of your eyes.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had a mage friend make it. Maybe I can get another one. Won't be cheap. But I like Sun-Chi.
Any idea what the cost will be?
No idea. I'll have to ask. This one was a favor. For a favor.
Understood.
I'm going to try to get word to Sun-Chi and convince her to leave.
Okay.
Again. But this time I'm going to let her know that the pyramid's out to get her. Maybe that'll finally get her to go with Karna.
Okay. Now, like I said, I am pretty sure I have a way of getting her out and with a new identity. A good one.
If whatever it is in her head doesn't stop her from leaving.
Yep. Yeah. Well, there's that.
This is a fucking mess, Roscoe. Fucking mess.
Yeah, it is. And it's just going to get better when Helena gets here. Because she's looking to clean up the chantry.
I know she's your sire. And you've made it clear that you don't support what they're doing. You got to tell me straight, Roscoe, if it comes down to it. Are you backing Sun-Chi? Or are you backing your sire? Where do you stand?
That's been something that's in the front of my head now for quite a while, ever since I talked to Helena. I cannot conscience what they're doing.
I ask because I need to know. When
I have to back Sun-Chi.
When it comes down to it, I need to know what side you're on so I know whether to count on you. If things get messy. Because I'm not going to let them take her. Not if I can stop them. But it could get very messy very quickly.
Yeah, it will. I'm sure of it.
I'm glad you've decided where you are on it. I was worried for a minute there. Your sire is very persuasive.
Yes, she is. And I had a hard time telling her that I didn't disagree, but that I did not agree. with it, but I just can't go along with it.
That's because you have a conscience and you know what right or wrong is. I've always got that feeling about you that you never quite signed on to the pyramid part of what you are. I've always pictured you more as kind of doing your own thing.
Well, I accepted him as part of being Tremere, and that was part of the identity. But the more I've learned about them, the less I feel that I can accept it.
And to think if it weren't for what happened in Vienna, you wouldn't be able to think that.
That's true.
You would still be bound like everyone was, like I was, like we all were, until, let's just say, a problem got solved. And she actually looks over, and you see her stare at Chinatown. I've got to go, Roscoe.
All right, Tracy. It was
I've got
good
to
to
meet
talk
with
to you.
somebody. I was waiting for this.
Okay. Do you need help?
No. I just have to meet with a delegate.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Tracy.
You
Good
have
luck.
a good one, Roscoe. And Tracy starts walking towards Chinatown. Want to roll something. Let me roll something for Roscoe real quick. Because why not? I like to roll this. Let me pull up your character sheet. Got all these dice. A +1, right? Because you get a +1 power bonus. Let's do that. Bam, throw that out there. Let's see what you get. 8 with a crit. Very nice on your uncontrolled use of Sense the Unseen. There appears to be a green light emanating from in Chinatown that's piercing straight up into the sky.
Would I have any idea what kind of beacon that would be?
Nope.
Okay.
And so, as Roscoe, I guess, is heading back to his shop because Tracy's going to meet with whoever sent that signal. The girls had a nice discussion. Nicholas survived a daytime attack, and Lamar has recruited Nick to work for him. We're going to go to break, everybody. We will see you in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break.
Introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? Wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered. All my confessors were all tortured. Or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, brick me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory. Blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast. We don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within. Do you burrow within? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, well, we had a interesting first half. Nicholas got attacked. Roscoe met with Tracy. We had the girls get together, had a nice little discussion. Lamar recruited him a nos. But let's circle back to that Nicholas and Roscoe thing, because Nicholas, you're waiting outside Roscoe's shop because he wasn't there when you got there. Didn't see him for a while. Roscoe, you come wandering up after meeting with Tracy, though, to find Nicholas. I believe Nicholas would be pacing in front of the house or the shop.
How? Nicholas, did we have a get together I forgot about?
Can we go inside?
Sure, let's go in. And I open the shop and we go in. I let Nicholas into my shop. I agree to let him in.
I need your help with something.
Of course, what you need.
And he'll hand him the picture or show him the picture of the guy.
Guy's nondescript, blonde-haired guy.
What? Who is this guy? Or what's going on?
He woke me up today
During the day?
and tried to stake me.
So I'm taking it this guy's not a fan of yours.
He's not a lot of things right now.
Okay. So do you?
Can you help me find where he came from?
Yes, I can.
He had no identification.
That's okay. You got his picture. That's all I need.
Yes, and hopefully that picture is good enough. There won't be an opportunity for another one.
No, this is fine. Let me go get my stuff. I'll be right back.
So you go back and you get your ribbon. And you're going to roll initially. You'll have to make a rouse check, of course. But you're going to also roll intelligence, blood sorcery. And you get hungrier. Your beast speaks. You're going to turn your back on the one who made you what you are now. You're going to turn your back on everything that was logical and the protection it provided.
It's not logical. And it's no protection.
For one who does nothing for you, what a disappointment. And then your beast goes silent. And you're going to roll your intelligence, blood sorcery. With your +1, you get a bonus.
I will be willpowering that.
Okay, right now you have 2 successes. And the difficulty is equal to the ritual level. +2, right? So you have failed your initial attempt to use you don't even make it to the lighten of the ribbon phase.
Can I try that again?
Oh, of course. You can always try again with another rouse check.
Okay.
And the beast is silent this time as you do not get hungrier. So it can't taunt you further with the failed roll. And now we'll do intelligence,
Nicholas,
blood sorcery again.
This entire time, Nicholas is just pacing.
Because it takes him a few minutes to get into the correct mindset. There you go. Now you have 5. That's 1 over your margin. Oh, now see, that's much better. With your willpower, that's 4. 10 successes with a crit. So that makes your difficulty. You have a margin of 6. So your difficulty is now 1 on your intelligence survival roll.
Okay.
So that's pretty good. So you managed to get your mind in the right place and picture this person in your head as you pull out the ribbon, douse it with your blood, and go to light it, which is intelligence survival. And yes, you can use your tracking as another bonus. Wow. 8 was a messy critical. Well. What to do with a messy critical? Let me look here at something real quick. Looking to see what to hit you with. Could do a clan compulsion on you. What?
Well, I'm re-rolling it to be perfection. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Let me pull up and double check just to make sure here, because I want to make sure I'm not going to do you dirty as for you. Until you get another critical win or the scene ends, you got a 2 dice penalty to all dice pool. Okay. And the scene won't end until you're done tracking.
Okay.
So you feel the ribbon doused in blood. You feel it burn, go up in flames. Now, you know where to start. It's going to be at the haven of Nicholas there. So you two head out to start the trail. Now, Nicholas, your haven, that's located in the medical district, isn't it?
No, mine is by Graceland.
Okay, so it's north of the medical district? Okay.
Yeah.
So you head out and you see the trail, Roscoe.
Okay. What color is it?
It's red. And as you follow this trail, you're driving. It makes it easy. You don't have to point directions. It heads south, goes into the medical district.
Okay.
And it leads you in a direction you've been before. It stops at the burnt out wreckage of a building that once held a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, the place we all went to.
Yes. The building you
Pentex
were told was
building.
run by Pentex.
Oh, you remember this place, don't you, Nicholas?
Vividly.
So does that give you any clues who might want to send somebody after you?
I had an idea before the tracking who would do it. This just complicates things.
Now, the building is still burnt out, by the way. The trail doesn't leave the building. You can see it goes into the building. You don't see where it goes in the building because you can't see it from outside unless you're planning to go into the building yourself to follow the trail to its end to see what happens.
Well, Nicholas, I can see where the trail goes into the building. If you need to know where he was in the building, we'll have to go in. Do you want to do that?
And you see him like reach up to his necklace, just sort of like absentmindedly. Perhaps not the greatest idea after today. And then he'll look over and pull a stake out of his pocket and sort of like hand it towards you.
What's this?
That thing you do with artifacts.
Oh, okay. You want me to see?
Can you
see if I can get an idea of its provenance? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I can tell you most recently it was, and Nicholas points onto his chest here.
Okay.
I mean, he's not joking. Like he's literally, he'll point to it.
Yeah, you didn't heal the wounds yet, unless you want to make your rouse roll to close them. Otherwise, you've got 2 stake holes in your chest. You only have to make 1 rouse because you heal 2 wounds, 2 superficials at blood potency 2 per rouse check.
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, so you did not get hungry, so you can close the holes. But Roscoe,
Okay.
for you need to rouse and roll intelligence all specs. And remember, you have
a -2.
2. You're down 2 dice.
Yep. All right. We'll pass the rouse check, at least.
That's good. Now, of course, if you have to repeat the action, the second time you try it, it's only down 1 die, and the third time it won't have a penalty. So at least you can keep retrying.
Okay.
But intelligence all specs, you get your power bonus of 1 and then -2, so it just negates it down to a -1 on your dice roll.
Right. Okay.
Manageable. Ish.
Okay. I rolled it.
Yeah, no, I saw it roll, and then it didn't resend the results. There you go, 2.
Hmm.
Are you going to willpower that?
Kind of burning that tonight, but okay.
Any more than this, and you're not going to have it all back next episode. This is
Right.
the last time you can do that, but go ahead. So you have 3 successes. So that'll give you info. Holding this as you touch it and you expand your ability to see into an object's past and the states. You end up looking back, and the first thing you see is, of course, Nicholas being stabbed. And the one doing it, the emotional state on him, he hates what Nicholas is. Hates him to his very core. You flash back again and see this building. You know it's this building because he's standing inside. He's talking with man, probably you'd put him 60s or 70s. Can't make out the conversation, of course. That's not what this power does. But it's obvious by what you're seeing and the way it makes this individual feel that he really was glad to be of use again to sate that hatred that he has. And he was given the stake. And you only had 3 successes. And the last thing you can sense off it is the guy setting out with a purpose. Purpose to kill. A member of the Clan of Death. Now, the individual you've never seen before, in his 60s, bald, got a gray mustache, though. He was wearing a suit. That's it. Vague. I wouldn't even give you enough to follow the trail on it because you're only sensing secondhand the info. But that's what you get.
Well, wasn't very good info. I can tell you though, that, I mean, having seen you getting stabbed, that was quite a sight. But the guy really seemed to have a personal, deep hatred for you of what you are. Then he came back over here to this building where he got the stake from this older guy in his 60s, 70s, maybe bald, had mustache. Well dressed though, had a suit on. Guy seemed to be really happy to be of use. And that, what was it? Storyteller, but that he wanted to kill one of the Clan of Death.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. But it was very intense. And that's kind of where, as far back as I could see this time.
Perhaps I should see if Mr. Cade is busy.
Storyteller, would I have been able to, my visual of the guy who gave him the stake?
Not enough for you to track him because it was secondhand off of an emotional feel.
Okay.
That's why you got a very brief description.
Okay.
Because it's really what Spirit's Touch allowed you to see is sometimes the circumstances and sometimes the emotional feel, depending on successes. With enough successes, you might have gotten it. But
that didn't happen this time.
Not this time.
And Nicholas will take the stake and put it back in his pocket. Thank you, Roscoe. I appreciate your assistance.
Absolutely, Nicholas. Anytime. I'm sorry I didn't get more info.
Oh no, that was plenty. It reinforces some things I was already contemplating. The woman in the graveyard, or whatever she is, said something was hunting us.
You think someone is in this building is taking interest in all of us or just you?
If your reading can be trusted, I think it is my familial connection that they aren't particularly fond of.
Well,
which is information.
Right. Now, I imagine, well, this isn't going to be the only time they make an attempt. If they're truly after you. And having some idea who we're dealing with here, their resources are unlimited, essentially.
Yes, his suit was rather nice. Perhaps I need to speak with Jacqueline then about getting that FaceTime with the Malkavian Primogen. Thank you again, Roscoe.
Oh, you're welcome. Sure.
If I can ever be of assistance to you, please let me know.
I will. Thank you for offering.
So you all head back so that Nicholas can get back to his vehicle. As you pull away and you finally clear the medical district, Nicholas, Izzy whispers to you, we were being watched. Could not tell you, couldn't leave. Something strange about the Watcher. Something that shouldn't be.
Did it have red eyes?
No. It had a cord, silver cord, leading back from it. And it wasn't fully on our side. I think he was alive.
Curious.
I've never seen that before. And then she goes
Thank you,
silent.
Izzy.
And now, as Roscoe's heading back, Isabella, shortly after the girls left your brew pub, you got a phone call to the brew pub. Braden's on his way over with the journals. I know you're emotionally not fully up to par, but he is coming with the journals. Thankfully, Lamar, she contacts you shortly after you're done dealing with Nick. And I'm going to let you two talk briefly before Braden shows up as you gather at her brew pub.
Lamar, I don't have the energy to be a mediator today. So keep that in mind if things flare up.
This is your place. I will be on my best behavior.
She kind of raises her eyebrows at that.
Okay, I'm
And
not gonna shoot him in the face.
you clean it up. That's all I'm asking.
That's fair.
Hopefully he's a bit more together today.
I sure hope so.
It gives us a useful journal and not one that's full of random bull that we don't need.
And as you say that, Emilio steps in. He's out front. Want me to escort him in?
Yes, please.
And Emilio steps out of the room, and he comes back in with Braden. Braden is in a charcoal-colored suit tonight. Hair well combed. He's actually got it's paper tied up with several square objects in it. Obviously, he's got several journals there. Hello, Miss Caputo. Mr. Cade.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Better than I was last time. Still want it all to end, but maybe this will help you. And he throws the journals, the whole package, right onto the table where they hit with a thump. That's what I've got for the
Be,
past couple years.
be grateful for the life you're given. Not everyone's so fortunate.
It's easy to say that. I went through them and I found, and he points, he goes and opens the paper or opens a string and pulls one of the journals out and he starts flipping through it. This right here. And he shows you the page, and the page actually is, you'll see the journals, a lot of rambling in them. But this particular page, he's talking about a picture. And the woman he describes in the picture, very close to your description.
Lamar looks between the picture and Isabella.
It's not a picture. It's just a description of the picture. He
Oh,
doesn't actually have
description.
the picture, but the description sounds very close to her.
Does it make sense in the context of the passage? Isabella kind of reads the whole thing.
Where they are, you don't, by the description of what he's describing around you, you don't remember ever being in a place like that. The city isn't right.
I've never been there.
It's,
But Lamar, don't we know of someone who has run into someone who looks like me before?
I think so. Yeah. Hold on a sec. Storyteller. I might be drawing a blank on the name at the moment.
there's a member of your coterie who stared awful long and hard at Isabella when he first met her.
Yes. We might be a good idea to let him take a look at this, see if he's got, maybe he can help us narrow this down a little bit.
Is there any names or other times where this person has come up?
No, Braden looks, that's the only time I wrote about the picture. Normally I try not to repeat, but I don't know when the picture came from. I don't know anything. I don't remember any of it.
What's the date on the journal?
That was from 3 years ago.
And you didn't see it before then?
I didn't remember it before then. The memories are weird. They come and go. I remember sometimes. I try to write them down in case I forget them. And then they come back. Sometimes they change slightly. But the general part is right. That picture, I don't know when I saw it. I don't know how long ago it was. I don't know. The city doesn't sound right to me.
The city where that you remember the picture being taken in?
Yes,
or
it is
were you-
not. It's not Italy. I'm going to let Lamar in particular. Lamar, you can roll. I'm going to be kind. Wit streetwise. And we'll see once it finally catches up, because apparently it's being slow tonight. 5 successes with a crit. I like that, Lamar. The description sounds like New York, but not modern New York. New York before your time.
Hold on a second. That landmark mentioned right there, the only place I recall seeing something like that is New York. I mean, I've been through New York. And I did a little bit of research on the city during my time there, and yeah, I could almost tell you exactly where that place would be in New York.
When was that landmark first there? Do we know when potentially this picture
It's an old
was
one,
taken?
very old one.
Yeah, longer than I've been around.
Yeah,
Both
you
lives.
think that the landmark was torn down probably around 1920 for you, Lamar, from you looking at the old, when you were diving into the history?
Yeah, they tore that down around the 20s or so. 1920. 1920. I'm willing to put money on that.
I was never there.
I haven't been there either.
I wasn't even born yet, actually. But my sire may have been there. I never recognized the city. Went to a lot of cities when I came and joined Camarilla, but New York was never one of them. Why have I always avoided New York?
Now, when you say it like that, you've never been there, but you've always avoided it, and you're not sure why. That, to me, that points to someone. That points to someone making it so you don't either you don't think about going there, or because they're trying to make sure that you don't go back there and figure out what's going on.
I've thought of going there. Every time I think of going there, something comes up. And I always ended up somewhere else. Lana.
Something within your control, as in you just don't want to, or
Something got my attention. I'd spend time in Atlanta, DC, even San Francisco at one point. Never New York. You think that's important?
very.
Yeah, there's something to that.
I don't know what she would have been doing there. As far as I understand, that's Camarilla.
You lost touch with her before this point,
Oh,
correct?
I wasn't even embraced.
Oh, right. This is before then.
I was born in the 40s.
Not all those places are always Camarilla.
I seem to recall there was a war for a number of years there, off and on, off and on. She used to talk of she called them the good old days.
Yeah, some people think of them that way.
Sounds like she's definitely been there then, even if you haven't.
Mind if I take a look at a couple of the others, see if there's anything else that sticks out?
Go ahead, y'all can keep them.
Lamar would like to pick up one of the other books and just see if there's, if there's anything else like referencing those cities, or maybe when he thought about trying to go to New York.
As you flip through them, doing a quick scan, you do come across one thing sticks out on the page. You see him mention the white-haired branded one. Now, you know of a kindred that has white hair, who has a brand on his head. It looks like a tattoo, but that's not actually what it is.
While Lamar's looking, oh, sorry.
It was a Tremere brand Tremere had put a brand on that individual.
While Lamar's looking for that information, Isabella's going to send off a quick text on her sat phone, Nicholas, and ask if Izzy spent time in New York.
So that comes as you're riding back with Roscoe from your tracking there, Nicholas.
He'll text back simply, yes, period, why.
Isabella shows the string of messages to Lamar, or She says, realizing that Lamar isn't the best with technology. Izzy was in New York for a time.
You're Izzy, Isabella, right?
Not quite.
Now I'm confused.
There's two of us.
Not only that, but your journal here mentions Tally. It's got a description of Tally. I'd know it anywhere.
Which page?
And Lamar will point out the page in question.
He looks at it. That was because I woke up one time with him. A dream I had during the day of him seeing that face leering over me, staring in my eyes. And I know I was trying to fight what he was doing, but I couldn't.
Lamar looks at the date on that. Like if there's a date.
The date of his dream of that would have been, well, actually, that would have been about 5 years ago.
So, Braden, I'm going to tell you something that's probably going to make you uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. I've got a sneaking suspicion that what's happened to you is because of Tally. He's done something to your mind, and that's why you're moving from place to place. That's why you can't remember things. He's gone in and either cut out some stuff or rewritten it to fit his interests. The question is why.
Yeah, why me? I'm nothing. I'm just, my sire wasn't even that important.
I mean, she was a pretty big name.
And in Italy.
What about you? I mean, got any accomplishments to your name?
I mean, I was embraced for a reason. As I said, my memories remember her praising me. The model of a modern La Sombra, modern at the time.
You don't know if
But
you're...
then I remember her hating me as a disappointment. Which one's real?
Gotta second guess that, because whatever is floating around in your head right now, some of it might be because of him. And if you were doing well enough for her to praise you, I mean, she probably talked about you to other people. It gets around enough. You know, she's got a child who is exceeding expectations. Well, it's going to be enough for someone to want to curb that before it gets too far.
I told you, Tally did security for her at one point. Would have been, if I believe my memories, 95, 96.
How long did he do? Is that when he started or ended his service with her?
It was only for 3 or 4 months.
Doesn't it seem odd to you?
She had angered Vikos. So she negotiated Tally to guard her for that period of time until she could make amends.
Yeah, here's the thing. Tally was one of Vikos's. Tally was definitely on the. I won't say the payroll, but Vikos could have ordered him to do anything, especially if your sire pissed him off. Tally would have thought nothing of handling the problem for them just because he could. And being a bodyguard puts him in the right place to not only screw over her child, but maybe make something happen to her too.
Yeah, actually, something you hadn't seen before. Braden's eyes kind of harden. He gets a very focused look on his face. He could have had her then. So it was a setup. They wanted something.
Any idea what they'd want?
No idea. But it only makes sense if Vikos and Tally worked together and he did security. That means the feud was false, which means he wanted Tally close to her for something.
And if you caught on to it and tried to stop or confront Tally, wouldn't have taken much for him to nail you down, put some holes in your brain, and then, let you think that she hated you enough to send you packing. Meanwhile, you don't have, you can't tell anybody what happened to you. Then you look, also, your sire got ashed in front of you. You couldn't stop it. You're a failure. No one, you're radioactive. No one's going to touch you. No one's going to want to have anything to do with you. And as long as you hate yourself for failing, for not being enough, then you don't have time to look into who did it to you and why.
This is both confusing and frightening.
Many things are.
But if everything you're proposing is real, that means everything I need to fuck them all over is in here somewhere. I got to find it.
You got to find it, and you got to make sure that they don't realize that you're looking for it, because Tally's already been to the city once to ruin someone. We don't need him coming back.
There's two things that are going on here, though. There's whatever happened in the 90s, prior to that, with the picture of New York. They obviously have some common threads, but that didn't happen in New York, so why are you still hesitant to go to New York?
I don't know. Like I said, something always come up. I'd have a reason to go to Atlanta. Popped into DC briefly.
DC when?
DC. I believe I was in DC 97. I met with Prince at the time, Vitel. I didn't know he was one of us. He was claiming to be Ventrue.
Yeah, no one did. Yeah, that. All right. I need to look into a couple things because some of these dates are starting to seem a little too convenient. But Braden, we should talk a little bit further about this. Keep this under your hat, because you haven't. Wait, have you told anyone else about any of this besides us?
No. Why would I? They think I'm insane. They doubt my sanity. I doubt my sanity. Hell.
What happened to you? Not your fault. You're being played with by people playing a higher game than the rest of us. So
now, Lamar, I'm going to point one thing for you. You know Tally was in town that year. He was in DC. The reason you know it is it's right around the time you raided a chantry. While he didn't participate in the raid, he was there. It was right at the start of the war, right? Actually, it was pre-game. Only off by 2 years with his date, but if his dates are not perfect, as he claims, 97, 99, it's a time frame Tally operated.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to go through some of these a little bit more, and we can talk a little further once I have and kind of match some stuff up. Because some of the stuff you're saying sounds like around the time I was in DC, and yeah, there was a whole lot of stuff going on around then that if you were anywhere near the area, you either were privy to and you don't realize it, or maybe you saw something that he thought needed to be kept quiet, but didn't think about destroying you because it was, cleaning up a body is too much trouble.
There's a name I remembered. I don't know why. Have no one just remembered it when you talked to me and said that. Maniacal Jack. What does that name mean?
Say that one more time.
Maniacal Jack. I don't know what that name means.
Can we use the Ventru clan perk?
Okay. You're going to invoke the clan perk based on a name you've heard brought up. Now, the Ventru clan perk allows you to find out one bit of info about somebody whose name was mentioned. Now, you've vaguely heard that name. It's not one that was ever mentioned normally. Your understanding is, when all was said and done, because it made a lot of kindred talked about it, Maniacal Jack was a Tzimisce that was Vitel's number one man. It was Vitel's boogeyman, what he threatened people with unofficially. It was always talk of Maniacal Jack's going to come into DC and come after the kindred. The reason you would remember that is that was noted about Vitel ran DC under the threat of, well, I'm doing this to protect you from Maniacal Jack. That later turned out to be his man.
Son of a... Yeah, that I've heard of that guy. Yeah, Braden. So the thing about Maniacal Jack is that he was Vitel's guy. And Vitel used to sick him on people to then turn around and go, hey, look, get with me or Maniacal Jack will get you.
But I don't remember meeting him.
You don't remember meeting him?
No. Yeah, I don't remember meeting him. I don't know where the name even come from.
Yeah, asshat out of DC that is probably still under Vitel's thumb, just like Tally is right now.
Now, y'all read through my journals. Just get them back to me when you're done. I'm going to go see if I can dig up more memories.
We'll get this figured out. Just don't tell anyone that
I'm insane.
No, don't tell anyone that you can't absolutely trust. And I don't think you can absolutely trust anyone with this.
Can't even trust you.
No, you can't.
I'll talk to you all later. And he actually turns, leaves the books behind, and leaves the room. I'm going to give Lamar and Isabella a scene to discuss. A lot of knowledge, a lot of crazy, twisted shit going on in this discussion.
Wow.
I think Tally shredded that guy's mind. Something awful.
Definitely sounds like it. The bigger question is why? Why the way that he did?
I mean, he used to say, if you kill them, they don't learn anything. But sometimes you got to kill someone so everyone else learns something. I think that might have been a 1-for-1 here. But the way he was speaking about DC, it sounded like he was there around the time that Tally was there. I was there too. We may or may not, well, I may or may not have busted up a chantry that Roscoe used to stay in.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That still doesn't explain the thing about New York, though.
No, because something tells me he saw something or he did something in New York, or he tried to do something in New York, and whatever it is, Tally doesn't want it known or found.
My guess is that something happened around that time that picture was taken. So prior to 1920. And then maybe Braden's sire or Braden found out about it. Or Braden's sire did, and Tally wasn't sure if Braden did.
Yeah.
Just fuck up enough to confuse him.
Although, Braden said was before he was around, but with his memory being what it was, he might be older than he thinks.
Oh, I don't even mean that he was there. I just mean that if Amelia told him what happened as leverage in case something happened to her.
Then why not just dust him if he thought he knew?
No.
Hey, thanks for calling me. I'm gonna look into this a little bit further, see what I can piece together, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah. Save some for me so we can split the work.
Got it.
Thanks, Lamar.
So you all make your separate ways. Now, Jackie, when she left this bar, you were actually going over to, oddly enough, an office inside the loop.
Mm-hmm.
It actually is listed when you get there in front of it. It is a restaurant equipment supply company.
Excellent.
And this happens to be where Cedric has set up his office.
His office, yes.
Now, you've prearranged
Of
for him to
course.
be there.
Of course.
And when you come in, it is a legit office when you come inside. Obviously, they are actually supplying equipment to restaurants in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman sitting at the desk, can I help you?
Yes, Jacqueline Duran? Have an
Yes,
appointment.
yes. You're here to see Mr. Calhoun.
Yes.
Yes, 1 second.
Thank you.
She leans down and buzzes. Yes, sir. Your appointment's here? Gotcha. Now you can go on back.
Thank you.
Now, it strikes you as odd because at this hour, you're not aware that people have secretaries working at this hour. But apparently he does.
Yes. Probably a ghoul.
And when you come back into the office, you head back and you just see a door that says owner.
Mm-hmm.
And when you open it up, there is Cedric, not behind a mask in all his glory,
Mhm.
with his hat on, though. He has his top hat on, as always. Jacqueline, good to see you.
Yes. And
He
she
stands
comes in
up.
and shuts the door,
And with his good arm, he shakes your hand.
and I shake his hand. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Okay. And she sits down. So, Primogen Calhoun, you
Yes.
wanted to see me.
Yes. You like mysteries as much as I like mysteries.
Of course.
It's a funny thing. Remember that storm we had, right?
Yes, I am familiar with it.
Well, Nim, shortly after the storm started, happened to find a badger freezing. Now, normally to Nim, that'd be something you avoid, but he'd not seen one of those before.
Yes, they are not very common in the city.
No, and it seemed smarter than it should be.
Hmm.
So he taunted it until it chased him,
Hmm.
and it followed him back, all the way back to my place.
Hmm.
I spoke with that little thing. He had an owner.
Really?
Oh, yes. A gangrel owner.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The badger's name was Honey, of all damn things.
That is cute.
No, it still is Honey. I call it that for now. I haven't decided if I'm going to rename him.
Mhm.
Seems he had an interesting night. You don't normally see an owned pet alone like that. At least not
Indeed.
willing to chase something.
Away from wherever it is.
Yes. Seems its owner was sent out to get something for one of the other Primogen.
Which one?
Which one we're not going to mention yet. Well, I'm sure you understand. I'm not going to say that name right now.
Okay.
He runs a school.
Oh, I understand.
His owner was in that school for retraining.
Interesting.
They were sent out to get this item. Badger doesn't know exactly what it was. He can't describe it. He never got to see it. But it turns out they somehow ended up in Marcel's penthouse suite.
That's who owned that penthouse. I've been trying to look into that.
Yes, one of my clanmates splatted herself on the street.
I heard about that. Why
had
did
to
she
clean
do
it up.
that?
I had to clean that mess up.
I'm sorry that you had to do that.
Well, what I do.
I know.
But that's not the odd part. The odd part was a certain toreador that owns a club, very popular club. A club you've been to before.
Mm-hmm.
She was there. And that's when my clanmate jumped out the window. Now, this badger doesn't know everything that went on because the badger didn't stick around. But his owner never came out of that particular suite. Neither did any of the others.
Who were the others with him?
There was the Clan of Death who was masquerading to be one of ours.
Oh, yes, that is, Waneka mentioned him to me.
Yes.
Who is that? That is, Oh.
Worse.
Yes. Yes.
There was a Ventru. Clanmate.
Yes.
Nosferatu. Matter of fact, child of one of the Nos that I have dealings with. And, of course, this gangrel. Now, I don't know what they went to get. I don't know what was so important. That the schoolmaster would send them for it. I do know it's not traditional for that particular school to send people on missions. And I'm not quite sure I like whatever mission it was, getting a clanmate killed. Now, I'm not as fanatical as Waneka is about that subject, but it also
I'm not
left a
particularly
mystery.
fond of it either.
I hate mysteries. Especially mysteries that I can't run down on my own. You see why I'm asking you about it. Perhaps you have ways to find out what was going on. I want to particularly know why my clanmate was caught up in something that obviously got all of them killed.
What I want to know is why that toreador was in Marcel's penthouse.
He is a friend of the court. While she is not a primogen, she shacks up with the primogen.
I know.
And there's more to her than most people understand.
You and I both understand.
I'm not going to talk any more of that either. Some things are
Neither
best
am
not
I.
discussed,
Indeed.
within I don't
Certain
know, 3
distances.
cities.
Yes. Certain distances, yes.
Exactly.
Indeed.
You know what they say. To name something is to give it power, and to say that name will draw attention.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I will be happy to look into this further. Waneka did ask me about information on where that Horus might be. Did you let him know?
Oh, no.
Okay.
My child and I don't always see eye to eye, and I prefer to get my facts before I get him involved.
I got you.
He can be vengeful,
No kidding.
and we certainly don't need him going after Marcel at the moment.
No.
Might make things difficult for me on the council, given the
Yes.
allegiances I'm currently working on.
It is a good thing I put a word in the prince's ear to make sure you got your spot.
Well, I mean, there was that, and of course, Khaled named me his replacement.
Heard something interesting about former Primogen Khaled.
Oh. He's left the city for a while. A well-earned vacation.
Mm-hmm. I believe he left a while ago.
Now, what makes you say that?
Because I know someone destroyed him.
And when you say that, you hear the door to the room you're in lock.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you know?
He was too curious. Got involved in something that he couldn't handle.
What you're saying doesn't make sense because he was on the council up until the changeover.
Yes, and we all know people can imitate.
It would take somebody with a lot of balls
Mm-hmm.
to try to do that.
It would.
I'll tip a hat to whoever it was.
I would too. They pulled it off flawlessly.
So what do you plan to do with that info?
Nothing, just share it with you.
Good, keep it that way.
Of
And then you
course.
hear the door unlock.
Mm-hmm. You are my friend, Cedric.
You know how it is with our kind. You can't always tell who friends are. You don't know who's going to
Stab you in the back?
leverage.
No. I'm not going to spread that around.
Perfect. Good. Going to be looking more into this object, whatever it is. I want to know what it is. I want to find why Gracious would do what he did.
I imagine it had something to do with the storm.
I do too. Which makes me even more curious.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
notice he did use that name now. You've off-put him enough that he's
Mm-hmm.
slipped.
But yes, be careful with that one, please, Cedric.
Always careful.
Don't fall into the same trap that Khalid did.
I don't know what he was looking into. I never found that out. Probably never will, if what you say is true.
I think it is in your best interest to never find out.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. He did name me Primogen, so
Exactly.
he'll go on his vacation and
Never come back.
exactly. Not the first time that happened.
Exactly. Exactly. But yes. So. But I will do what I can and get you what information I can. And actually, soon I will be following up on Flyboy. I have laid some honey traps, as it were, to make sure I can get my hands on him.
Good, good. One other thing I mentioned, I might need your help with something.
Yes.
There's somebody here from overseas. He's not with me at the moment. He's doing other things, but keep an ear out for, best way to describe it is ones who wear masks. And I don't mean metaphorically. Let me know if you hear rumors of any masked Nosferatu running around the city.
It would be my pleasure to inform you of that.
If they are running around, I'm pretty sure they know how to hide from my pets,
Yes.
but they may not expect others looking.
Please give my thanks to both Nim and Honey for their information and Nim's ingenuity.
They're establishing their pecking order still.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
Nim's
Perhaps one
smarter.
evening I could actually stop by and see them.
Perhaps Nim's smarter, but Honey's a badger. It's not a fair fight.
No, it's really not.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of my operation, though?
I love it. I love it. It's wonderful.
Just a little side business I've been running for a while.
Who is your secretary?
Oh, just somebody I've known a while.
Oh, I
Nobody.
just would like to call her by name if I can.
You can call her Rose.
Rose? Okay.
Rosaline is her actual, but Rose.
Rose?
Yes.
I will do such, just to show her respect.
She doesn't really care on that.
No, but it is something I care about.
She's been with me for a while.
Excellent.
Useful.
Of course.
Well, I've got other business to take to tonight.
Yes, Primogen, I will not take any more of your time, but thank you so much for this meeting. I appreciate it.
Thank you for popping in. Letting me know that this final fate of Khaled
Yes,
and looking into some things for me.
of course.
You have a good evening, Jacqueline.
You too, Primogen.
And he nods as you step out of the office. And I assume you say goodbye to Rose as you walk
I
by?
do. Good evening, Rose.
And she smiles. Busy night, busy night.
Of course.
And as you head out, we're going over for one final scene. Jenny, you are at Phoenix. You're at your restaurant. When you're in your office at the time, when there's a knock at the door. And it's not, they don't even wait. It's not Evan that opens the door. In steps a man. He's wearing actually a suit. Between his balding head and his gray beard, you know who it is. You don't need a toga.
Genevieve stands up and, Primogen, please have a seat. What do I have the honor of your visit tonight?
Thank you. I've come just to discuss a trivial matter. And he shuts the door behind him. I am curious about someone I believe you were attached to incidentally through a scholarship, Miss Tasha Baker.
Yes, Tasha is one of my bright rising stars in my empire of various businesses.
She was quite intelligent, and I am curious why she hasn't been seen at the school lately. I'm checking in. I was one of her professors.
She came to me and told me that she had been through a harrowing evening, and I felt it was best to keep her here a little bit and give her some time away from school so that she could best steel herself for the days to come, as it were.
A harrowing event, you say? Well, it can be hard sometimes for the college life like that. She was a very good student. I would love to see her return.
Yeah, she is very, very, very gifted. So I will give her that. It's the reason she got the scholarship in the first place. So I'm always looking for that diamond in the rough, and every city's got a couple at least. So
She was very gifted, and I was actually eyeballing her for additional education. So, if you would like to see her excel, you can, of course, send her back, and I will take her under personal tutelage.
I'm sorry, Primogen, but she's already getting a advanced course from me. So
I know you are connected, but please, so young, she could learn a lot more under my tutelage. Give it some thought.
I will, but I have been eyeing Miss Baker for much longer than you have, and so she was not all applicants for or recipients of my scholarship program can make it to that upper echelon, and she had all of the necessary criteria to get there.
I will say it was difficult for me to track down where she got the scholarship from. But now that I know and I've met you, I see.
I'm sorry, Primogen, but I am nothing but a humble businesswoman. So
Right. Bit of advice then. Do not have her return to that school.
she won't.
Perfect. I hope she enjoys your tutelage. Just remember, if you wish to see her succeed and to go far, you can give me a ring.
If her education starts to slip in a way that makes me feel like she's not going to grasp it, then I will make sure that she finds her way back to you.
Well put. Are you sure you're not older than you should be? You speak like an orator. Very good to twist the words. Just the right amount of insult without enough that I have to pay attention.
Oh, I do apologize, Primogen. I am not trying to insult you. I'm being sincere with what I say. So
Of course.
I will have to watch my tone more. I'm still getting used to the Chicago life. So
I take no offense. With what I have to deal with on a daily basis, it's refreshing. Most of the ones they send me are worthless. Fodder. Not fit for what flows through their dead veins.
that has to wear on you.
Everything wears.
Oh,
Talk to me after your first millennia. You will understand.
I mean, if I will be so fortunate to see that far, then I will have to definitely hope that you are there too, so I can come back and be like, Primogen, you were correct.
Well, perhaps, given time, you will make the right decisions and you will last as long as I have. But I've taken up enough of your time. Please. Good evening, Miss Schutz.
Good evening to you as well, Primogen.
And
safe travels.
He turns and leaves the office.
She's gonna send a text to Miss Baker and have her to come into her office.
Okay. And you've actually had her, she's working, studying in the basement at the moment, not wandering the place so we can see it. And she comes up, you needed me?
Yes, please sit down.
And she sits. I'm almost done the book you gave me. Almost done.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. You will not be returning to the University of Chicago, whatever podunk ass shit I was sending you to. So I do apologize for that waste of your time.
Thank God. That guy, I don't know what he did, but every time I think of the place, I get cold chills. Break out in a sweat. Doing it now.
He is. He's a bad man, is the nicest way I can put it. But at this point, we've come to the junction in the road, as it were. You have to decide, do you keep on with me or do I let you go? And if I do, you're probably screwed.
You're saying that if you let me go, he's going to come for me.
Oh, yes. He wants you back with a passion. And I don't think he has any positive feelings towards you other than using you as a tool. So
you've been nothing but kind to me. You've helped me out, mentored me. I know you're doing it because you're trying to curry favor with Auntie, but that's fine. I understand that. That's the way it's played. That's the way you do it. I get that. So, I mean, given that choice, who do you think I'm going to sign on for?
Well, it was necessary to ask, but you need to understand, Tasha, your aunt may have opened the door. in a sense, but like you've done all of this on your own. You grabbed the bull by the horns or whatever, and you ran with it.
The way that guy makes me feel, I'm not sure it was the horns I grabbed, but
I don't think he did anything like that to you, thankfully.
no, not
Probably
that
just
part.
as worse. Just as
He
bad.
seems
I mean.
pissed off enough about it. It's
He's one of those old types. They're always pissed off about something.
if I'm going to sign on with you, I do have to ask a question.
Go for it.
What are you? That night, I came here and ran. I saw and felt something I don't know how to explain it. Could feel something dark, something hungry pulling off you. It scared me, but I haven't felt that since then. But what are you?
Well, what am I? How do I put this, Tasha? You were actually very right on a lot of counts when you came to me that night. Talking about vampires and all that. You were actually very correct. The problem is that now if I tell you all of these things by the rules, you become mine or I have to kill you.
Well, if I'm not yours, he's going to kill me. Or even worse, do whatever he did. I still don't remember what happened when I went in his fucking office.
You know what? You are right. And I'm going to do you the service I was not given. When I had certain things forced onto me that led me to this day and age, as it were, this night, I didn't get a choice. Those choices were made for me. So I'm going to explain to you what it means. You're going to become what we call ghouls.
A zombie?
No. You will have enhanced senses, possibly. You will not get sick anymore. You'll not age. There's a lot of positives. You can still be out in the sun, because yes, I am a vampire. But we don't call ourselves vampires. So if you run around saying vampire, you just sound like a crazy person. There are positives, there are negatives. You may be put in danger at some point, and I apologize for putting you in danger with Critus.
Look where I grew up. I know what danger is. How many drive-bys a week are going to happen out front? None here since you opened the restaurant.
We're working on that. Okay. My associates and I are working on that. So
danger doesn't scare me. It doesn't bother me at all.
Perfect. You have a brain that is sharp, and with it, and you catch things. You are absolutely perfect, Tasha. And I am so glad that fate or destiny or whatever the hell brought you in to my life. And I know there's gonna be times you're gonna be like, I fucking hate this shit, but you might not. I found my time as a ghoul was not so bad. Well, it was kind of bad, but it was okay too. But you know what? Eventually, if the time comes and you decide you want to, join Unlife, then we'll see what happens. I'm not going to make that promise to you, and I'm not going to force that decision upon you either. But you've chosen to stay with me, which means, yeah.
It's a lot to put on me. Can I have 24 hours to think on it?
Sure. You can have 24 hours, Tasha. But
I know if I decide not to, I understand.
No. I was going to say, just so you know, Evan's going to shadow you, because if you run or you contact somebody, he'll kill you.
I'm just going to think about it down in the room you gave me downstairs, and
Okay. I'm not trying to come off like a creepy, crazy person. I just want you to understand that there are very strict rules in society that I am part of.
Yeah, I know. Once you
And
jumped into a gang, you never get out. I understand that concept.
well, unfortunately, it's probably very appropriate to the situation. So
I just need to think on it. I mean, there's one part you said about you don't go old, which is cool, but then there's the downside. But then if I don't go old and my family does, they all die and I have to watch.
yeah, I have had to see everyone that I used to love taken from me, and not from old age.
One other question then. How in the hell has this been kept a secret so long? It boggles how you can hide that.
It's just a skill set. I mean, the thing you picked up on is in me is I trigger something in people. I make them scared. But you were probably seeing some of my more feral side, as it were. But we kindred, we have control of things in a sense, which sounds like one of those crazy conspiracy theory type of things. But realistically, we do what we can to protect ourselves and stay out of the spotlight as much as we can.
It's funny you say conspiracy. I saw something a few months ago about werewolves are real. As, the light of truth was spewing that shit.
Funny fact about the light of truth, Tasha. He's a vampire. Not of his own choice. And he's also a total fuck up.
So wait a minute. So when he was saying, he was naming like 5 different politicians as vampires, even though we've seen them all in the daylight, he was lying?
No, he's full of shit. He was a 100% pure con artist, conspiracy theorist, drinking his own Kool-Aid kind of dude. And he stepped into the wrong house at the wrong day or wrong night, and he paid the fucking price.
I mean, shit, I stepped outside the wrong office, apparently.
Unfortunately, kind of how it happens sometimes. Lucky for you, though, he didn't turn you into a vampire against your own will. And he also was dumb enough to let you get away. So, positives.
Yeah. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay. No offense, Tasha, no hard feelings. I want you to make the decision that is right for you. Because, like I said, I didn't get a choice. It was literally forced onto me. So, both times, actually. So, that's why I want you to have a choice.
I do appreciate that. It's mighty kind compared to what I felt off you that night. That was scary.
I apologize for scaring you.
Well,
I was not my intent. That was harrowing situation all around, and I probably didn't handle it as well as I could have.
as they say, not the first time, not the last time. I'll let you know tomorrow. If she gets up, no matter what I decide, thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Tasha. Hopefully, I will get to see more of you past tomorrow.
I mean, you've been, as far as I can tell, honest, and that's a big plus.
Well, I try not to lie. The world is full of shitty people who lie all the time. I figure why lie when I can just be honest with people? You'll actually find you get more done when you actually are honest with people. So
that's what Auntie says. And she steps out of your office. And this is where we're going to end. Season 6, episode 6 of Windy City After Dark, everybody. We had an interesting second half. Jackie unknowingly might have come close to death for briefly there.
Just this close.
Cedric, being used to dealing with other kindred of the city, didn't know how well he could trust Jackie not to try to blackmail him. And had she tried that, she would have never left that office. Isabella and Lamar have got a puzzle to work out. though they're on a track that provides a lot of illumination. Jenny, you've offered a choice to a young lady. Choice you didn't have yourself. Very kind of you, actually. Roscoe, you and Nicholas may have stumbled onto some sort of conspiracy that's bigger than you realized. But it may have something to do with the missing Giovanni as well. And of course, I'd like to thank my players and the viewers. This week's player XP goes to everybody. I feel last episode, the votes were great. I love to hear them, but everyone deserves XP for the last episode. Of course, pop over here, go to our Discord. Join us in the Discord, pop down to Chi-Town chat, say what you felt about today's episode. Talk about what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think is coming. Do you think that Tasha is going to accept the offer or not? There's a good
She's smart,
question.
she will.
And will Jackie find any masked people? And Lamar, you've got some things you need to ask about because the timeline is suspicious. Roscoe and Nicholas, holy shit. Y'all have just stumbled on something dangerous. Isabella.
Nicholas gonna need to go to church because he's holy now.
Yeah. He is. And Isabella, you've got, I'm sure, questions now about what was this woman meeting with a woman who looks suspiciously like you?
Yep.
Where is that tie in? And of course, Paul, talk about it in Chi-Town. Come on, talk about it in Chi-Town. Give us your theories. We love that shit. You want to check out our past episodes right here? Back content's all on YouTube. You can catch this. You can catch our werewolf stream that is ongoing now, our mage stream that is just finished up. You can catch all that good shit. If you want to check out some amazing content creators, these are our friends over here. These are the people we love to support. One of them, right there. Mischievous Red. Go check her out. She even streams TTRPGs on a different channel. You can get all that from her. Just pop in, say hi to her. Or if you're in the middle of painting miniatures, pop in and lurk. Because that's what I had to do because I was painting. But I was still listening. I just was painting. And of course, if you want to check out some merch, we've got Windy City After Dark merch and studio merch. Even got some werewolf merch. Check out our merch store over here. For the werewolf side, I do not advise you to get the Red Rockets for Gaia. Get it. But, you know, Red Rockets for Gaia, it's a messed up joke. Now, going through, actually, I said everything this time, so I'm turning it over to my wife for the schedule. I'm doing good this week.
All right. So thank you so much and happy Easter to everyone that celebrates Easter. Seriously, thank you for spending the afternoon and evening with us. And we hope that you've had a lovely day. But coming up over the next week, we have on Tuesday, the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern, Werewolf Season 2 of Phoenix's Call, run by the Squishy Bear / Ravenna, and with Timber Brad and myself in it, along with others. It's an amazing crew. You want to join us for that? That's going to be our second episode. The group's all together, and somebody done fucked around already, so we're about to get a rage on.
Somebody about
And
to
it
find
wasn't
out.
me.
It was an NPC, so we're about to get some rage
An NPC
on.
named Roscoe. Oh, no, that's a different game.
So join us at 8 p.m. Eastern to see what kind of chaos these Guru get into. And then on Saturday, Tiss is back at 3 p.m. Eastern with London Esoteric Society. That'll be episode 24 of our Victorian London Call of Cthulhu 7E stream at 3 p.m. Eastern. Please tune in for that. And of course, we will be back here on Sunday, the 24th of April at 5 p.m. Eastern with Windy City After Dark, Season 6, Episode 7.
And I know we record these on Thursday. When you're watching this on Sunday, we had a good time meeting with Tess. I can already tell you that's going to happen because
Yes.
she's visiting in between the time this is recorded and when it airs. So
Mhm.
we've had a good time meeting with her, got to go out to dinner, and it's kind of cool.
Yep.
By the way, there is an open casting call right now for Bro Hunters.
There is.
So if you're on our Discord, you can apply for Bro Hunter.
Y'all, seriously, it is a blast to play that game. It is ridiculous. It's basically almost like Paranoia, but you're playing those kooky, bullshit ghost hunting people on TV. It's fantastic.
Yep. You're a bunch of bros and broettes. if you're a woman, then better go and ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
It is insanity. It is over the top. And apply for it because Shanky's going to be playing in it this time. I'm not going to be running it, but I'll be playing in it. So I don't know who else is going to be in it, but join us for Bro Hunters. Come apply if you want to be on the stream.
Yeah, Shanky saw me play it, and he's like, oh my God, I have to play the next one.
Yeah, I got to get in on that. I got to figure out what character I'm going to be, but I'm extra. So I'm going to give it some good the bro attitude. Got to do what I got to do. I'm going to be Theodore Roosevelt. We got it covered.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, see? Theodore Roosevelt.
This
right
is
there.
why I don't play in too many games with him as a player, okay?
Yeah. So, and as always, as we end these streams, everybody, please take your mental health seriously. Check in on family, check in on friends, check in on loved ones. Reach out to those around you and make sure they're okay, because a lot of us aren't. A whole lot of us. And sometimes it just takes a voice, somebody asking, are you okay, to help out. And if you do suffer from mental health issues, like many of us do, myself included, and a number of people in our Discord deal with it. Let's be fair, a number of people in general deal with mental health issues. Please don't be afraid to reach out to those around you. And if you can't, you still need to reach out. In text or in chat right now is numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to try to get help that you need, someone to be that voice, because there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with admitting you need help. And honestly, it's okay to not be okay. So please take mental health seriously, your own and others. And now I'm going to turn it over to my wife for her part as we exit this episode.
I'm actually going to follow up a little bit on Shanky's mental health PSA. Also, if you have the ability that at your job you get vacation time or PTO, do not feel guilty for taking it for your mental health. We had a loss in our family this week, and actually I got notified of it yesterday, which was Wednesday, the 13th. And today at work, I found that it hit me harder than I expected it to. And I just told my boss the deal, that it had hit me harder than I expected and I needed to take the afternoon off. And she was like, you take care of you, hun. Take the afternoon off. Do not feel bad about taking time and rest if you need it, because that's important self-care. Now, I, Mama McStabber, am the nicest mean nurse you'll ever meet. Timber Brad down here is the meanest nice nurse you'll ever meet. We're going to tell you.
Get your damn shots.
That is correct. Please go get your shots. Please go get your shots. Because I'm hearing in multiple states, because I talked to a lot of family yesterday all over the country. A lot of states, the hospitals are getting overloaded again. So please, 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 these people that are overloading hospitals are people that didn't get vaccinated or people who didn't complete their vaccination or didn't get boosted. Please go get those shots. Please, protect yourselves. Said with love.
Yep. And again, fuck Putin. I'm not going to stop. Until he stops, I'm not stopping. Fuck Putin. Don't take it out on the Russian people. Certainly don't take it out on the Russian businesses in your communities. They have nothing to do with that monster. Fuck Putin. And fuck his oil, too. I'll pay $6 a gallon. I give a fuck. And I'm saying that as somebody who drives a gas-guzzling high test. I'll still pay it rather than buy his fucking oil. Fuck that man. From the cast of this amazing show and the storyteller here in the studio, I do thank you all for coming. Good night, everybody.